Freedom is like oxygen. You don't know how precious it is until it is too late. Freedom means that you are unobstructed in living your life as you choose. Anything less is a form of slavery. May we think of freedom not as the right to do as we please, but as the opportunity to do what is right. Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. The secret of happiness is freedom. The secret of freedom is courage. Those who deny freedom to others do not deserve it for themselves. You can't separate peace from freedom, because no one can be at peace unless he has his freedom. The only way to deal with an unfree world is to become so absolutely free that your very existence is an act of rebellion. Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same. Freedom is the oxygen of the soul. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Liberty is not the power of doing what we like, but the right to do what we ought. There are two freedoms: the false, where a man is free to do what he likes; the true, where he is free to do what he ought. Liberty means responsibility. That's why most men dread it. Man is free at the moment he wishes to be. It does not take a majority to prevail, but rather an irate, tireless minority keen on setting brush fires of freedom in the minds of men. For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. People demand freedom of speech as a compensation for the freedom of thought, which they seldom use. Freedom is the sure possession of those alone who have the courage to defend it. Lock up your libraries if you like, but there is no gate, no lock, no bolt that can set upon the freedom of my mind. The most courageous act is still to think for yourself aloud. I would rather live my life as if there is a God and die to find out there isn't, than live as if there isn't and to die to find out that there is. The future doesn't belong to the faint-hearted. It belongs to the brave. The most important kind of freedom is to be what you really are. You trade in your reality for a role. You trade in your sense for an act. You give up your ability to feel and in exchange put on a mask. But there can't be any large-scale revolution until there's a personal revolution. On an individual level, it's got to happen inside first. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. When a man is denied the right to live the life he believes in, he has no choice but to become an outlaw. They who can give up essential liberty to obtain a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. Better to die fighting for freedom than to be a prisoner all the days of your life. Each man is questioned by life, and he can only answer to life by answering for his own life. To life, he can only respond by being responsible. Freedom has cost too much blood and agony to be relinquished at the cheap price of rhetoric. The most terrifying words in the English language are, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help." Emergencies have always been the pretext on which the safeguards of individual liberty have been eroded.